It's season 2 of Let's Talk About It.
Season 2.
Now, a little recap about what happened in season 1, right?
Tell us about it.
So, let's talk about it, right?
Right.
No, so season 1, we talked about what it was like for us to be married.
Yes.
Married young.
Yes.
Parents.
Yes.
We talked about what it's like to have married sex as parents. We also talked about what it's like to be a man in today's current climate,
right?
Cultural climate. And so, let's talk about what we're going to do moving forward now in season 2. Okay. So, see her? Yeah. So she won't be in every episode. Yeah. It was her decision.
Yes.
All right. So,
yeah.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to bring, like I said in the trailer, we're going to bring a different group of people in.
So, okay, so we got the video going, and then we also have the podcast. For those who are listening on the podcast, if you want to see us while we're talking, go head over to YouTube and watch us. And if you don't want to watch us, but you want to just listen as you ride, go listen to us on the podcast.
Spotify, Apple Podcast, and
Let's
Anchor.
talk about it.
Yes, let's talk about it. And name change, right? Name change. So it's not Let's Talk About It with Dre anymore. It's Let's Talk About It with the fam.
Yes.
Right? Let's talk about it with the fam. And the reason we went with a name change is because we're going to add more people in.
Yes.
And so it's not just me and her. Well, it's not just me. It's not just me, but it's me, it's Hershey. We're going to have a plethora of different people come in that's going to fill her spot.
Yes.
And maybe every now and again they're going to fill my spot. Possibly. So, just a lot going on with season 2.
Yeah.
The website is up. Talkwiththefam.com. Woo! Yes, we are doing it. And I saw a meme. That dude was like, he just like this. So, whenever something happens, it's like a good thing. I'm gonna go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we got the website, and now we have the YouTube.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
YouTube fam.
Yeah, hey. Right. Come on with it. What? YTF? YouTube fam.
Come on with it, husband.
Business ballers, right? Business. No. And then another thing we're working on now is getting the Let's Talk About It merchandise.
Yes, so look out for that as we get the ball rolling.
Eventually, we're going to try to get that going as soon as possible.
Yes.
Butters, cuz.
Oh my goodness.
Butters.
That's not what they came for.
Okay, so we're going to dive right into it, right?
Okay.
What we're talking about in season 2, episode 1. Well, we're going to talk about, for this entire series, it's going to be all about rebuilding the black community. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start off with what broke down the black community.
Yes.
Because
there's many different factors.
I mean, yeah, of course there's many different factors, but one thing I do want to focus on is the loss of fathers.
Yes.
And the drug epidemic.
In the 60s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then mass incarceration.
Yep.
What really broke down the black community.
So what's interesting is actually all 3 of those topics, because I'm a social worker, so all 3 of those.
My own therapist. I keep trying to tell y'all.
So anyways, and I've had to actually write about all 3 of those topics.
Did you?
Yes. Mass incarceration. Is it Reagan?
Yes.
Who?
No. Nixon.
It's Nixon. Yeah. Nixon and the whole drug thing.
The war on drugs.
Right. Which came from the government.
Yeah.
And it's still happening to this day, more to the black families than it is to any other race. And then I also did a crisis in America, which was on fatherless homes.
Okay. So, I mean, let's talk about it.
Come on.
Let's talk about it. So, what do you have right now?
So, right now, I just, I found it very interesting that when you hear kids cry,
mm-hmm.
I have a PowerPoint that I did a long time ago. What they're really saying when they act out in school, when they act a fool with their mom, when they're in the store, acting how they want to act, it's really them saying, "Watch me, daddy. Where are you?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was just really interesting. And the absence of a father sets the tone for where kids are going to go.
Okay.
So I had pulled up this data. I'm going to give you just briefs about it. So poverty, families without a father are 4 times greater of a risk of poverty. 4 times greater.
This is without the father. So
this is fatherless homes.
Okay.
Yes. Teen pregnancy is 7 times more likely to become pregnant.
Teen pregnancy is 7 times more likely to become
pregnant.
pregnant.
Okay, so a teenager is 7 times more likely to become pregnant without a father in the home.
So
that is a major.
It is major. So teen pregnancy is 7 times more likely to happen. Would that be male and female? Would the boy be more likely to?
She got to get pregnant by somebody.
Well, I'm saying, with the boy more likely, does those stats or that percentage affect the black male youth as so much as the black female youth?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. The behavior problems from fatherless homes, they're more likely to have behavior problems because they don't have a dad.
Okay.
Who gives the structure? Who gives the discipline?
Right.
Who gives the guidance, the direction? Child abuse is more likely to be faced. So there'll be more abuse and neglect in a fatherless home than there is for a home that has a father and a mother in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I thought was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Without a father, it's 2 times greater of a risk for infant mortality. So the death of a child.
Wow.
It's
That's something you don't hear that.
Right.
You don't hear that. For all y'all say y'all don't need a man in the house, you don't need that man's daddy or that boy's daddy or that girl's dad. You need that man in the house. Be married though.
Well, even then, the statistics is still better.
Just to having the man.
Just to have a male structure in the house.
Okay. I don't need no man. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
We'll talk about that later on.
As far as raising kids, you absolutely need a man.
Yeah.
And then I also want to give a disclaimer that these stats are not just black communities.
Right.
But these affect all communities. But mainly, the highest percentage rate these are affecting are in the African American homes.
Okay.
So substance abuse is more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. Children are more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol not having a father in the home. They're more likely to go to prison.
Wow.
They're 2 times more likely to suffer from obesity. More than likely they'll commit crimes. They're 2 times more likely to drop out of high school.
All because the father is not present.
All because of daddy.
So breaking this down like into the black community, like I would think, me personally, I would think that it'd be greater in the black community because of not having that father. We already grew up in impoverished neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We already grew up with, with so many males to look at in the streets and on TV and all those different, media outlets or whatever have you. Would those numbers be higher in the black community?
Yes, because we're actually more likely to have children out of wedlock than, let's say, our counterparts, like our white families or even Asians. Now, Asians are at the top, where Asians and Hispanics are at the top for the less amount of divorce rates or fatherless homes.
They believe in staying together.
But African Americans are, unfortunately, we rank top for fatherless homes.
Yeah.
So what happens when a child screams, or what happens when a father's absence becomes a child's scream? It's just really more statistics, more numbers. It's really, really sad. But in 2011, 12% of children in married couple families were living in poverty, compared to 44% of children in mother-only families. So 44% more children without daddies were living in poverty compared to only 12% who had a mother and a father. I mean, those numbers are just...
Yeah. So, for anybody who wants to get more detail about fatherless homes, Google. Google.
Yeah.
Because like Hershey said, it's not just affecting the black community, but it's affecting everybody.
Yes.
But since we're focusing so much, this whole series is focusing on rebuilding the black community.
Yes.
And so I encourage anybody out there to, I think it's still on Netflix, but I will double check just to be sure. But 13.
Oh, I remember
13. Which is basically talking about the 13th Amendment. Am I correct?
I didn't watch it.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it was giving little nuggets about the war on drugs, how all that started, mass incarceration, how all that happened, and so I want to give just a little bit about how this subject came to be.
Okay.
So it came to be because for a long time, maybe like the past 6-7 months, I have really been talking about rebuilding the black community.
Yeah, because it's needed.
Yeah, us having our own banks, our own schools, and it dawned on me on my way home today from work, like everybody's making money off of us except for us.
Say it again.
Say it again. Everybody's making money off of us except for us.
Why, black people? Why? When we have creative ideas, witty inventions, like we have
we're creatives.
We are.
We're creatives. That's just
because if we look at it, because I know a lot of people like to talk about slavery. If we look at it, slavery, we held the masters and their families together.
Yeah.
We gave them the stability they needed.
Yeah.
So why is it now that we have the freedom and the liberty to do that still, we can't seem to put 2 feet down on the ground without falling? What's the issue here? A lot of us have victim mentalities.
I wasn't going to say it.
I'm going to give it to you all the way real and raw, okay?
Straight, no chasing.
Come on.
Give it to them, honey.
But a lot of us, we don't want to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us want to play victim. But I heard a woman say, there's more opportunities for the black people now than there's ever been. But this is also the generation of people who cry oppression, who has the least amount of oppression.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, what is going on? I mean, society has really given us everything we need. It's almost impossible to not make money.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to not, sustain
Succeed.
Yeah. You pick up your phone, you can come up with some kind of idea to do something.
Listen, you can create an app
and make money
off of it. Which building the black economy is coming up.
It has
for real. Building the black economy, like I got somebody that I'm going to bring on for that. And he's doing really, really good. He's really he has the same mentality I have, like just rebuilding the black dollar.
Yeah.
And really what got me focusing on rebuilding the black dollar, and then we're going to go back to the families, is Black Wall Street.
Okay.
Oh my God, Black Wall Street.
The best story that you could ever learn from.
If you haven't heard about Black Wall Street, do your research, watch on YouTube, Google it, whatever you have to do.
Wealthiest.
It was a
community.
It was a community of black of black people, and it was in Oklahoma, and they had their own bank, they had their own tailor, they had their own bakery, they had their own deli, they had their own restaurants, they had their own everything. They had their own houses, their own apartment complex, they had everything. And their money, like, it was literally like Wall Street like in New York.
Okay.
It was just booming. It was just, and
the difference was the color of the people who was winning.
Yep. And, one situation happened, and them white folk got mad, went in there and burnt the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Burnt it all down. And they could never rebuild that. And so my goal is to rebuild the black economy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stop going to Mingling and get your nails done. I'm sorry, that sounded kind of racy.
Yes.
But still, you know.
But the context, the connotation of what you're saying is what makes the difference.
Yeah.
It's not from a racial standpoint.
No.
You know, and this whole conversation is not to say, you know, our counterparts or our brothers and our sisters who are not black, you know, are bad people or anything like that. But they were taught well. Mm-hmm. I mean, from generation to generation, they were taught well.
They have the tools they need.
Yes.
And they know how to use them.
And actually, if you talk to them, they're willing to give you the tools to help you.
Sure will.
I have yet to meet a white person who was not willing to give me knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They was not willing to, you know, give me handouts. But if you ask the right questions.
That's all you got to do. You have not.
Because you ask not.
Yeah, glory. I felt
you know, while thinking that they are your enemies, they are your greatest asset.
They are. But the thing about it is knowledge, man. We are so prone, and the thing we were knowledgeable about the shoes,
yes,
the latest trends,
mm-hmm.
and all, we're so knowledgeable. But are we knowledgeable about Rockefeller? Mm-hmm. Are we knowledgeable about who the top black millionaires and billionaires are? You know what they did. Like I'm following Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Yeah.
Like, and my mind, my whole thought process is changed because of listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like building the black dollar, building this black economy. And I saw him he put a shirt on Facebook, and it was talking about black gentrification.
Okay.
And basically, like, what is black gentrification?
Mm-hmm.
And it was when you can own your own.
Come on.
And build your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, building your own schools,
mm-hmm.
building your own malls.
Yep.
Listen, they making money off of us, right? Macy's is making money off of us. Target is making money off of us. Walmart is making money off of us. Walgreens is making money off of us. CVS is making money off of us, right? Then you got Jordan, he making money off of us. And then you got, you know, these people in Malaysia and Thailand, all this stuff, they making money off, you know, I was gonna say black women, but you can't say that nowadays because people put weave in the hair, you know. So then you got, you know, the Asians are making money when they getting your nails done, getting your feet done. But you got black women and black men out there that can listen. You got black women and black men out there who can do your hair, who can maintain your hair, who can do your nails, who can dress you.
But they winning though, as far as the hair industry is concerned. Now, not the hair product industry. They're ran by Asians and white people.
But why though? That's
but
my
we're
question.
coming up though.
Okay.
We are starting to come up. We're moving very slow because at the end of the day, we still have to realize this is America.
Yeah. And
there is, for some reason, a fear for black people to succeed through the eyes of others. Now, we have to understand that, too. Like, we're not ignorant.
Because this country was built on the back of our people.
Yes. So we want to make sure that we make that clear. We're not ignorant. There are barriers and there are obstacles, but there's no obstacle that we can't fight.
Right.
There's no obstacle that we can't jump through.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the real question would be, what's your determination to do it?
What's your why?
Yeah. And how far are you willing to go?
Right.
But before you even get to all of that, let's talk about being in debt. You don't want to own a company while being in debt.
So
if you can't,
black economy is starting. Let's go. Listen, let's talk about it. You know, the black economy. So being in debt.
Yeah. If you can't manage your finances at home, if you can't manage the credit which you've been given and trusted with from banks, then why would they trust you to open up a small business, a corner store? Why would they endorse you to have your business to go and cut grass? Mm-hmm. Why would they endorse you to go and make shoes? Yeah. Why would they?
But because when they loaned you $100, you defaulted.
Right.
And now you come in and ask for $10,000.
Yeah.
No.
So let's start there. Let's build our bank accounts. If you can't even save $10 in your savings account, how are you going to manage a business? Mm-hmm. And that's not to deter people from saying, you know what, I want to go and do this. I have so many ideas. No, let's just start from the basis. Let's not put the cart before the horse.
Yeah. Now, mind you, y'all, we weren't perfect. We're not perfect at this.
Oh, heck no.
We're not perfect at saving, but thank God we got a different mentality.
Yes.
With money. You know, and the thing about it is, it's all about the respect of money.
Yes, your relationship, how you see it, how you value it.
Change how you talk to money.
Yeah.
Like I talk to money. Listen, I talk to it.
Okay.
I tell it, listen, I'm not gonna spend you. You know, because money be talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you got $20. Go on and get you something to eat.
But that's a poor mentality.
Yeah.
The poverty mindset says spend it because I have it.
Yeah.
A rich mindset says save it so I can spend it later.
Read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, I still haven't read it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Dave Ramsey.
No, it's not.
Who is it?
It's in your phone.
Rich Dad.
It's not him.
Dave Ramsey is fixing the money problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 He's the financial peace schooling.
Okay.
No, for real, it's called Financial Peace, but I don't remember it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
But he has the baby steps.
Yeah. So you know.
So we're on baby step number
2.
Number.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. So. Okay. So the black economy. We touched on that. We touched on the black families.
So bring daddies back.
Yes.
We would prefer you to be married. But even just to have a but then we have to talk about the kind of black men we got left too. You know, is that a whole nother segment?
It's a whole nother segment.
You know what? And I'm not trying to be funny, but I just thank God that I was off the market when I got off the market in 2011 because the availability of black men is
strong black men.
It's dwindling quickly.
Slipping, tipping, and dipping.
But I'm
really
believing
dipping.
God. Yeah. I'm really believing God because there's a need.
It is.
And then I can say the frustration too, and this is a whole nother segment too, but I'm gonna just throw this in here. We're gonna move right along. I've been thinking about, now I don't have a problem with interracial relationships, but I have a problem with black men who become successful but don't give black women the chance. Now, I was thinking about this the other day, that if there's so many successful black men saying, I don't want a black woman because she can't submit or she has a bad attitude, I really feel like black women, because we're still talking about building the economy, that means being worthy of a wife, that means killing your bad attitude, that means killing your independent mindset.
Kill that toxic thinking.
Yes.
That's what it is. It really is toxic thinking that's been passed down from generations.
Right, from bitter grandmas and bitter great-great-grandmas.
Right. You know, but it's just going back to maybe like the 30s and 40s when grandmothers would tell you, like, baby, if you want you a husband, you got to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to do that. You got to learn how to do this. You know, but now the generation now don't want to hear that.
They don't.
They don't want to hear that kind of talk. It's like, you know, he's supposed to do this and he's supposed to do that. What you bringing to the table?
Yes.
Ooh,
okay, but that's a whole other segment. I know where he's going.
Can't wait till we get to social biases.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
I want to be on that too. So, yes, building the black communities. It starts with having a black male who is strong in his identity.
Yes.
But for him to stay strong, because he can be strong, but God said that he would send a wife, that he would give a male a helpmeet.
Right.
Which means while he's in his strongness, in his strength, listen, while he's in his strongness, while he's standing in his strength, for real, he needs that wife who's going to say, you know what, while you're falling back, I'm going to push you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you got to think about it. Okay, so going to that, you know, God telling, saying that it's not good for man to be alone.
Right.
You know, Adam was going through the garden. He was doing his business. Like,
he was good.
He was doing, the Bible says God had made everything. 6 days, he made everything. But he said, there's not a man to till the land. There's not a man here. I need somebody to keep this. Yes. So the first thing that he gave Adam was responsibility.
Yes.
You got to learn how to take care of this stuff. But then when God saw that Adam could take care of it, he said, okay, it's not good for you to be alone. You know, because you'll sit here and just keep this and kill yourself.
Yes.
It's not good for you to be alone. And so what God did was...
So you need wisdom. And wisdom is a girl. So you need wisdom to come and help you say, okay, baby, it's time to sit down.
Yeah. Which she does a lot for me.
You know.
She does a lot for me. Like, babe, you need to lay down.
Mm-hmm.
Or go get you some you time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I can go, and then I'll eventually burn out and explode.
Right, and then he'd be so irritated, and then it's like, okay, let's try to dial back before that happens.
Right.
Because it's an ugly sight.
Okay. So the black family. Another thing we're going to talk about is the black education system. Like, we're really going to get into that.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Restoring the black educational system.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very much needed.
Oh, yeah. So we live in Northwest Indiana, for those who don't know. And we're close to a city called Gary. Some people might know it. Some people might not. Michael Jackson was from there. The Jackson 5.
And, you know, but a lot of people give Gary a bad rep.
Right, and I was going there.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And it's unfortunately the most impoverished city in this area. And guess what? It's full of nothing but black people. So I would say probably like 95 to 98% of the population is black.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see spots here and there, but the majority of those in Gary are black.
Mm-hmm.
So they're black. They come from poor families, which means a lot of them are generational project livers. I just have to be honest. Which means now you have this issue with education. Well, if mom had Jesse at 15, 16 years old, her mama had her by the time she was 18, didn't finish high school. Her grandma had her, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that generational repeat.
It's a generational breakdown.
Yeah. So,
which turns to a systemic breakdown.
Yes, which means the systemic breakdown comes into the school system because you have these same people trying to raise a generation of people that they're just now paving the way for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're first generational college graduates trying to be teachers at school, but nobody showed them the way. It's, you know what I mean? But if you go into other areas, say let's Crown Point, it's a totally different atmosphere. You have a whole totally different kind of school system because you have people teaching who was brought up under teaching.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really terrible.
But another thing is, you know, we have to really think about it and really talk about it is funding. You know.
Okay. But there's a lie about that too, though. Go ahead.
That African American schools don't get the proper funding.
Yes, which is actually not true. It's a lack of
allocation.
Yes. So, if anyone knows, and I know very little, and I learned this while I was in college, while I was doing my undergrad, but public schools actually get more funding than privates or anywhere else. But people don't know that. The issue is people don't know how to budget. So, yes, there is a lack of books and all of that, but where are they putting their money into? And a lot of times they're putting it into the athletic parts of the school because that's where you get your money back from when you go to the games and they're paying and all of that. But public schools actually get more money, but it's just not handled well.
Yeah. So one thing I would like to see brought into the Gary schools, I don't know, I can say brought back, I don't know if it ever happened, is the academic decathlon.
Okay, I have no idea what that is.
Basically, you know, it's almost like the Olympics of academics. So you go through like math, science, you know, and it's like questions. It's a questionnaire, and whoever is the best school gets the trophy. You know, who gets all, you know, gets the most. But it promotes knowledge.
Okay.
You know, it promotes an environment of knowledge. Like there should not just be trophies of basketball and football and wrestling. There should be some academic trophies. There should be some academic rewards displayed. You know, because when you growing up in Gary, going to West Side, you know, we really didn't see, you know, the academic side. It was mainly the sports side, which was the football team. And the basketball team, they were just about superstars walking through there.
Okay,
you know,
but they didn't. But they couldn't read.
Well, I don't know about all that.
It's proven over and over again, and that's because there's no demand on academics. If you can play good ball in the hood at school, We're trying to push you so you can get out of this hood
and make some money.
And make money in the NBA, in the NFL.
But the problem that comes with that is, how can you give somebody, you cut them a check for $100 million, or $3.5 million, but they don't know how to budget and manage the $5 in their wallet.
And then that's why you see so many broke within the first year of and so that's again trying to build the black community. So
now I want y'all to hear this and listen to me very clearly. Sometimes you have to go and dig in the truth.
You do.
And what we're saying right now, some people are not gonna like it,
and that's okay.
But in order for us to rebuild an economy, to rebuild and restructure a community, we have to know where we went wrong at.
Yes. Be willing to face the truth.
Yeah.
You can't change what you don't know.
There is no greater teacher than history.
Yeah, absolutely.
No greater teacher than history. So I'm just like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna as you say it, we're gonna pay some bills, and then we'll be back. We're back. So we ended off with the educational system.
Yes.
And how
we talked about athletes and
academics.
Yes.
So now we want to talk about the tragic side of black success.
Yes.
And one of those things would be like Hershey had told me is when you see your brother or your sister succeeding, jump on board with them.
Yeah.
We are, as a people, divided. We really are. It's, she did that. She's doing good in that area. And it's, you got to point a finger and find the fault.
Yeah.
Just jump on board and say, you know what, sis, you did that.
Yeah.
Or I got a few pointers for you. And then don't be afraid to take criticism.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're just praying for society about criticism, period. Because if you don't agree with what I'm saying, then you're against me.
I told you what it is. Bastard generation.
Yeah, and it really is. And that's not to be funny or to bash anyone, but this generation of people, excuse me, this generation of people really do not have a backbone, nor do they have thick skin.
No, they don't.
But to own your own business, you have to.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have some stuff come up against you. Let's just talk about the reality of it all. To do anything successful, even if you're not even going to own your own business, but to go and finish school.
Yeah.
To get married young. To have kids. Somebody going to always have something to say.
They talked about Jesus to the day he died.
They did.
They talking about him now.
Yeah.
But
what are you going to do with that? Are you going to let that be your stepping stone? Are you going to use that to be your leverage?
Yeah.
Or are you going to sit there?
Pause. I said pause and rewind. I don't know if you guys remember, back in season 1, me and Hershey had a conversation. And we went on this little rabbit trail. See, I listened to the podcast. I was listening to it all while we was on break. So, season 1, we went on this rabbit trail, and it was about how DeAndre feels about racism. In a nutshell.
Okay.
And I was saying, you can either, I don't like the woe is me complex.
Okay.
You can either take the comments, the sly comments, the hate, you can take those stones and you can throw them back, or you can take those stones and you can build with them.
Okay.
And I got flack for saying stuff like that. But now it's coming out of her mouth.
Okay, so what am I saying that's different than...
Nothing. Absolutely nothing is different than what I said.
I'm talking about, so what was I saying then that I'm not saying now? You still have to take into account the obstacles or
I never hit the play button. You were still on pause. Okay, play. You're not gonna talk now. Ornery all your life. All your life.
So, anywho, but I don't even know what I was saying because I was put on pause. So, yeah. We're just really interested in rebuilding.
Yeah. It's time. It's time.
And know that you cannot do this without a community of people.
You need a village.
So all those people say, I could do it by myself. I don't need nobody. I can roll solo. You can roll solo for so long. But guess what? God gave us people. It's not good for man to be alone. Let's use that in a different context. It's not good for us to be alone. You cannot own a company, a business. You cannot do anything. You can't even raise your kids by yourself. Mm-hmm. You're going to need help somewhere along the way. Whether that's daycare, whether that's school, teachers.
Mama, big mama, grandma, auntie, uncles, cousins, best friends. You're going to need somebody.
It's going to have to help you.
Because it's not, like you said, it's not good for us to be alone. No. You shipwreck when you're by yourself. Why? Because you're stuck with your own thoughts. You're stuck with your own emotions. And you can't release them. That was one of the... What?
I'm shaking.
Because you shaking every time you do this.
That's what I'm trying to stop. Now don't start no mess.
You need that person. You need somebody there. Always.
Yes.
You know, like I said, you're stuck with your own emotions. You're stuck with your own thoughts. You're stuck with your own feelings. Mm-hmm. You can't talk to anybody.
Yep.
You know, and so you need that person. So you ride solo if you want to. That business ain't gonna succeed.
It won't.
You ride solo if you want to, but you won't make that degree.
No.
You need a village. You need a community of people that's gonna be there for you. And I just think it's time for us.
Rooting for you.
Yeah.
Pushing you.
Yeah.
Giving you honest feedback. I'm sorry, husband, but this is on me. We need people. And I can tell you this, from what I learned, people who say they don't need people are broken people. Mm-hmm. You will never catch a whole person. Somebody who's healed in all of their ways, who are healed from every asset or facet of their life.
Successful people. People who are just very successful.
Will never tell you they don't need nobody. Mm-hmm. But a broken person who has been through hell and back and has not gotten over their pain will tell you,
I don't need nobody.
I don't need nobody. I can do this by myself. Ooh. That's a defense mechanism.
I can do bad by myself. You go and do bad, baby. Go and be bad.
I don't want to do bad by myself. I need somebody to say, girl, get up out that depression. Let's go. Uh-huh. You know, no. So
I'm that person.
Yes.
I'm that person. I tell in a heartbeat, get out there, get out.
Yeah, go see so and so. Go to so and so house. Go shopping. Yeah. Go get you some this. Go,
get you some retail therapy and leave me alone.
Yes. Because otherwise, nobody in this house gonna be happy.
And I ain't gonna be happy for multiple reasons.
Yes.
I ain't getting no cutty. I'm sorry. So
get out of my head. So yeah, look forward to After Dark. At some point, it's going to happen.
It's its own show.
Yes, DeAndre has been doing really, really great with just working on the podcast. I'm so proud of you, husband. This is his baby. It's only up from here, so I'm so proud of him. And this is part of building the Black community. It starts in home, showing his kids what diligent work looks like. What does it mean to step out on nothing into something? Yeah. With just an ideal in your mind and then written out on paper. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of you. And so, look forward.
I'm proud of you, too.
Let's talk about it after dark.
So let's talk about that real quick, right?
Okay.
So rebuilding the Black family, right? Let's do this. Rebuilding the Black family. I'm going to challenge everybody who's out there, who's listening, who's watching. If you are married or you have a significant other, I challenge you for the next 3 days. Because I want to do it. Okay. I want you to do it.
Okay.
Encourage your partner. Give them words of affirmation. Give them words to lift them up. So I'm going to start with this. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you because you're showing our baby girls what it means to go out there, to work hard and get a degree.
Mm-hmm. First generation.
Yes. To get a bachelor's, right? Mm-hmm. Because your mom got an associate's, right?
Yes, but
Yes.
she didn't graduate from college, so
Okay.
I'm still the first graduate.
So, has her bachelor's, and she's now in the master's program.
Yep.
She'll be getting her master's next year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Lord willing.
Yeah.
I'm ready to quit.
So she's showing our girls what it means to have a degree.
Yep.
You know, she's showing our girls that no matter what, I can't wait till you tell your story. Like, what it means to literally have people talk down about you your entire life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, to tell you that you were going, if I can go there.
Well, this ain't part of the black community, but
I'm just, if I can just go there real quick.
But you know what? It can be part of building the black community
Yeah.
because it also means dealing with your past.
Yeah. So hearing, you're going to be pregnant.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Before, what, 16? Or 14, somewhere around there in her teens?
Yeah, it was my teens.
She didn't get pregnant until after we got married.
Well, I did get pregnant.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But it's by me.
So, I did get pregnant before we got married. But we lost the baby. But it was all in God's plan. He knew what he wanted from me. He knew what I really wanted for myself because I would say it over and over again when I was a teenager. You know, even before I was a teenager, I would have journals and I would write and I would write and I would write. And I would always say, I wanted a husband. I wanted a husband. Yeah, I want a family, but I want a husband. And then I just didn't want to be a broken
vessel.
Yeah, I didn't want to raise a broken generation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the history of my families. Like, they were broken. And so for me, it was like, God was like, okay, I see your heart.
Mm-hmm. But he had called you from the womb.
Oh, yeah, he did.
You know, he could never want you out of here.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about, though.
But if you want to hear about it, I mean, let us know. Comment in the comment section on Apple
Podcasts. And on YouTube. Comment on YouTube. I don't know how to do the whole bell thing, the like and subscribe thing. You know, that's kind of her thing.
If you like the video, you like what you're hearing so far, hit the subscribe button. Come on, join our family. Hear our stories. Tell us yours. Let's engage. And then if you always want to be notified, come on, who don't want to be notified? When we upload, hit the notification bell and put it on whatever it is. I think it's like always or something. Like, you don't want to be partial. You want to be all the way in. Yeah. So hit the notification bell.
Come on in to the room.
And comment below.
Well, the table is spread.
For those listening on the podcast, come on over to the Facebook page.
Yes.
And comment down below.
Let's talk about it with the fam.
Yep. And then, or you can go to our YouTube page,
which is Let's Talk About It with the Fam. Or you can go to Instagram, Let's Talk About It with the Fam. You can go to Twitter, Let's Talk About It with the Fam. And you know, in season 1, I said I don't know how that's going to happen, but it happened.
Come on.
It happened.
Come on, Jesus.
Shout out to my man, I Am Will Ballard. That man's a genius.
Yes, he's a beast.
He's a genius. And, like, real big shout out to him. Like, he's a good friend of mine from high school. Well, not from just high school. We were friends since elementary school. Like, shout out to him. I Am Will Ballard. He got our website together. He got our promos and stuff together. He's doing all that stuff for us. So, you know, real good dude, real good man.
Yeah, big ups to him.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So, wow, season 2, episode 1, right?
Season 2, episode 1.
So
it is coming to a close.
Listen, look out for us to finish out this series of rebuilding the black community. We're gonna hit it hard with some very hard truths. We're gonna hit it hard with some very hard truths. We're gonna talk about how black men need therapy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it because y'all just don't understand. Now, what I am proud to see, and I'm gonna just say this before we close out, black men in general, let's talk about men in general, are starting to see therapists because there's a need. Like, the pressures of the world has increased.
Okay.
But black men, it's at an all-time high for them to see a therapist. than ever before.
Yeah.
And so, shouts out to my black men who are saying, I don't want to live like this anymore.
Right.
This is not okay.
It's not normal.
What is normalcy to a normal person who is not living in pain?
Mm-hmm.
Therapy will get you there.
Yeah.
And you will have a new normal.
You will.
Listen, let's talk about it.
That was good. Big ups, girl. Boom. Another thing we're going to talk about is this toxic mindset of boys will be boys.
Oh, I hate it.
You know, boys will be boys. It really doesn't. It gives boys who turn into men an excuse to be nasty. And so we're gonna yeah. Listen,
Boosie's gonna be on this. I can't take it.
So we're going to talk about that. Just be on the lookout for what's going on in season 2. Again, After Dark has its own show. We're going to get that started. So yeah, man, season 2, episode 1 has come to a close, and we thank y'all for being a part of it. Thank you for being there through season 1. Thank you for coming on this ride in season 2 and the rest of the seasons to come. We love you guys, and we'll see you later. Deuces.